Fix this real quick. Test it. No, for real. All right, where y'all going? Okay. Me? I'm live. I'm working. I'm working. Yeah. Trying everything together. How's it saying? Such a weird. Why is this? Let me check see if it's even open. Oh, whiskey puts up yet again. Can't beat this, bro. Hold on, my fault, y'all. Give me 1 second. I don't know what's going on with this. There we go. I'm like, why you can't see me? All right, let's get it. Let me check stream. Check the mic. Everything. Let's see. Can y'all hear? Let's see. Can y'all hear? Voice isolation. Everything good? Check, 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 check. Can y'all hear? Voice isolation. Everything good? Check, 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 check. Perfect. There we go. All right, I can see the chat right here on this screen, the Mac right here. Let's bank, man. All right, so my fault. It took me a little minute because I did have had a mentorship class scheduled today, so a little behind. But we caught a banger while I was teaching too, man. You can't beat this. So like literally while I'm teaching, I was basically teaching them to be patient and wait for those, higher time frame closes and not to buy and to breakout retest if it never clears, you never clear the high, it's not a true breakout retest, right? Even though we obviously gapped up into this yesterday's high, we closed the gap. Obviously, we got a gap fill reversal instantly, took the call 70%, but we sold once we got to that 736. So I told him, I said, hey, you don't want to buy, if you missed it, everyone who's trying to buy at the top, they're gonna get cooked. So you want to wait for a retest. And the only thing about the retest is you want to wait because we already caught 70% on the retest. You don't want to go 0 DT again, right? Or you just want to just be patient, just wait till it gets to breakout, retest, continuation, right? Continuation over wherever we broke out from. So I said if that doesn't happen, you have to be careful for it. One, either chop sideways action, or two, wait for a market shift. I'm not gonna say reversal because I can think that's the market's not reversing, but reversal on the day, I guess you could call it. So we got the high, low, lower high. Oop, got that lower high. Let me zoom in a bit. I know y'all was complaining last time about seeing the numbers and stuff. Yeah, so we got it, and then we once we cleared that. Remember, this was our old previous support. So sold, right? Got the puts, I think like 200% on those. Um, got the calls for a quick little scout back up because remember, you always want to wait for a higher time frame close. Because I said, hey, everyone who's trying to chase this move right here, they're cooked. They're cooked. They're gonna get cooked. I'm gonna have to end your live for me. Did you take these with folks on the live? I Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yes. But I'm live now. Yeah. Sorry, my fault. But yeah. So basically, what I was saying, yeah, you want to wait for a retest of whatever zone, right? If we're not at a level, there's no trade to be had, right? There's nothing to do. If you're not at support or at resistance, you don't do anything, right? That's what I'm trying to tell people. Everybody's like, oh, calls or puts. What's the trade? Calls or puts. What we doing? Nothing. Nothing. If there's nothing going on, we're not doing anything. So what did we get? What did we literally just get? That's why we got puts again, right? We got puts because we got the retest, right? The same thing that happened here. Breakdown. We got the retest. And well, let me turn on the extended hour so you can see why we took it. Look at that. See? All that pre-market was stuck in here. Right? So and then we had yesterday's close and yesterday's high. Remember, I always say mark your previous day's high, mark your previous day's close. Especially when we use a gap up. Or even if we got gaps slightly down, you still want to use those main levels because those are gonna be the first levels we probably interact with. Like unless we just gap insane over the top, or you know what I'm saying, we gap crazy below, those we're gonna gap pretty close to either previous day's high or previous day's close. So if we got the gap, let's say we gapped up and then we just shot up, you can't really chase it, right? You got to wait till we get some sort of retest or pullback or some sort of candles that aren't just one directional. So another thing too, I always tell people like I don't understand why everybody so just wants everything to go down so bad. Like, bro, look at this, zoom out, literally zoom out. Like, look, breakout, retest here, breakout, retest here, retest, consolidation sideways, breakout, retest again. And then this is another thing too, like just because we break out and don't retest that day doesn't mean that we're not going to get retested, right? Even this move here, right? Like obviously you would have wanted the next day to get that retest, but we gapped up the next day too, went crazy the next day. So it took us 2 days before we actually got the breakout retest from this level. And so what we do, we just bought time. Again, remember we're making new all-time highs, so it's a little harder to like, come up with these targets and stuff. But as long as we are continuing to make, new highs, yeah, higher lows, possibly higher low. So, like I said, even with this, right? Even with this, if the market truly wants to dump from here, it'll give us that shoulder. If you want to use that wick, I don't know. I don't know about this wick though, because this wick doesn't exist on Webull. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that this wick exists. So this was a little weird. I don't know about that one, but according to the Webull pre-market, I think it was like 6:30. My fault, 7:36 15 or something close to that. So once we got to 736, that's why I was like, hey, trim here heavy, right? That's why I was like, hey, trim. Because like I said, we don't know. We don't know for sure, right? Obviously, it sucks when we trim and sell and then it keeps pushing. Or if we're short, we sell and it keeps dumping. Like obviously it sucks. It hurts. But it's not the end of the world, right? There's always gonna be another trade. So once you know it's always gonna be another trade, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna trim. See, look at that. I'm trimming these puts here. 45% on that second round. So we're gonna trim these here. So look, this is what I advise, right? Because we got the breakdown retest of this level. Now all you're gonna do is see if we clear. What is this? 730. So really, basically that pre-market high zone and the zone where we chopped from all day yesterday, right? So we'll send alert down here again. That'll be my secondary trim if we get that low, right? If, like I said, if the only reason why we didn't continue to short right here is because remember, the first test is always going to be your best test. Remember, this level has not been tested yet in normal hours, regardless of if we got a wick in pre-market. I mean, it's cool for levels, but we need to be tested in normal hours. So now the first test of this bullish breakout zone. Remember, this was a bull. You call it a bull flat, you call it whatever, bullish consolidation, whatever. It went bullish, right? So we know that there are buyers waiting down here. So of course, the first reaction is going to be a buy, right? So that's why the first round we took it, right? We took that shit off. We took it off. Boom. Wait for these calls. Got the calls right to the same spot, right? And I know it just seems like because it's zoomed in, right? It's doing too much. But like I said, if you zoom out, wait for a 30-minute candle or a 15-minute candle, you wouldn't have got trapped in either one of these, right? Neither one of these are really trappy. This is a simple look. And another thing, if you, like I said, there was a dude in the chat who was like, bro, these wicks. And he was like, I'm turning the wicks off. When I first started trading, like, not trading, when I first started, like, getting, I say good at trading, when I first started to figure it out, I was like, all right, these wicks are really messing me up. I had to turn them off because my brain would get so stuck on, you know what I'm saying, trying to get in a trade before the candle closed. And if you turn the wicks off, look, high, lower high, break down, right? Break down, retest, break down, retest, right? So without wicks, like I understand why, it might be a little easier to help your brain kind of get away from just always trying to, oh, look at this candle, look at this candle. Right. You want to wait for the candle to close because anything on a lower time frame, like it could be cooked, right? Even this, like if I'm just looking on solely at the 1 minute, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, oh, it's pumping again. Let me go long, and then you get smacked, right? Or even up here, you try to go trade that 1 minute. You saw the bounce, and you're like, I'm gonna cut my puts, right? Let's say you did have puts or something. Or my thing was the people who bought puts at the gap fill. Like I don't know why they did that. That was actually insanity to me. Yeah, see, perfect. You see how we just trimmed. We just trimmed right at the zone because like I said, we do not know if this is going to be a double bottom. We don't know if we don't know. We don't know because we're all-time highs. We don't have many levels to go off of. So all we know is that, like I said, there are buyers right here. So we would need to slice through here, retest, can't get back above, and then we have look beautiful downside. Look at all this downside we have. If the market's gonna go down, we will catch it. We will catch it. I promise y'all. I'll tell you this in every video. We will catch it, gang. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna hold y'all hand through it, right? I'm gonna hold your hand and walk you guys through the dump if it happens, right? We got 5 minutes left on this candle. So we'll let that 5 minutes go. I still got some runners, so I'm probably gonna let them do their thing because at that point it's a free trade. The first puts was 200%. Second set was like I think 50 max. And then like I said, we just trimmed here at 45 again. So yeah, let this 4 minutes close. Let's check the VIX real quick while we wait. Oh, my max at 3%. Goodness gracious. What up, little twin? I didn't know you was in here. You not going to the pool? Mm. Go where? Where they at? Oh, you're just gonna go to the pool. You're just not getting in. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Where dad and them went? Oh, I told him to wait on me. Don't listen. But my fault. Y'all know I'm on vacation. I'm. I feel like every time I go live, I'm always on vacation. Man. This is crazy. I feel like y'all think I'm just a bum. It's always on vacation. Let me see chat. Yeah. So it's always about them puts. Really frustrating. Starting out great today. Got caught up in the demon QQQ's call. Got ugly. Missed my spot. Put continuation. Was that a continuation entry on failure to hold 732.4? 732.4. Oh my goodness, bro. Um, Nyla, do you know that charger that Ayla be using for the iPad? Can you plug that in over here for me? Thank you so much. Yeah, my stuff's about to die. It's geeked. Bro, I just plugged it in. Yes. Is that a yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you unplug that white one and plug it in for me? Thank you. I'm gonna have to change the audio source 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change the audio source. 1 second, y'all. It might go mute for a second. Bang, bang, bang. All right, can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I have to change the mics up real quick. Because my Mac's trying to die. But I got my screen extender and my other one. All right, hold on. Let me check YouTube real quick. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. See. Uh, Yo. Yo. Good, good. Clear, clear, clear. We good? No, put that. Ear emoji. All right, we good. All right, okay. Had to make sure. But yeah, we had to my Mac was about to die. Bro, I swear every time I go live with y'all or I'm filming a YouTube video, either my phone, because the phone is the we use the phone as the webcam. But yeah, either my phone's about to die. Okay, cool. We got a low and lower low. So what are we gonna do? We're trimming our puts. Remember, we're trimming. You trim into the strength, right? You don't buy into the strength. You trim into the strength. 65%. Come on. Come on. You can't beat this, bro. You can't beat this with a stick. Look how, and that's the beautiful entry too. So that's what, like I said, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for one of two things: a hold or a flip. The market's only going to do one of two things, right? That's it. It's all you can do. And the answer was yes, and that continuation entry. Yes, yes. So that's yeah. So the first, like I said, the first one, obviously, like I always say, the first test is the best test. So when we do, breakouts, breakdowns, whatever, whenever we come back into those zones, that first test is we'll probably get some sort of like hot stove reaction. Basically what this wick right here was. So yeah, we got 1 minute left in this. As long as it closes in this zone, like I said, you keep trimming because now we are in the zone and we're in the middle of the range and we don't diddle in the middle, right? So in this whole zone here, right, you got to be careful because, like I said, we could have a double bottom here. The market can kind of chill in here. It could kind of, cook contracts and then gap down. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know exactly what's going to happen here. So I took most of my profit. Like I said, I left two runners. That's it. I had 20 contracts, I think, at the beginning, and yeah, so now I'm down to two. So if I want to, let's say, roll that profit. So sometimes in the chat you'll see me say, or even on here, I'll be like, "Oh, I rolled." So because, like I said, we caught 200% already. We already caught 70% on the calls, 20% on the puts. Instead of me just being like, spam some more 0DTs because we're going lower. Nah, I'll just okay. If we were to break this, right? If we were to break down here, where would we go? we have all this space down here, 727, and a gap 724, and then the gap close is at 723.71. So if I'm like, all right, I'm kind of busy today. I already caught a nice little move, but I don't want to miss this possible dump that's possibly might happen. So the best thing to do is to not do any more zero DTEs, right? That's why I always say roll, roll. The market just gave us two crazy moves. Really three if you want to count the beginning of the day. But the market just gave us some crazy moves. So do I want to be greedy and be like, nah, I'm gonna spam some more zeros, right? That's how you end up going from green to red. So the best way to do that is to, let's say you made $1,000, right? Say you made $1,000. I'm not gonna go put $700 into some more puts, right? I made $1,000. I probably put 250, maybe 300 into like 1 to 2 days out, right? Because that way you can still make bank. Like if this does dump, right? Today, let's say today is the day they finally trigger, right? And then just we get a flood towards the end of the day. You can still catch it, right? You won't feel like, oh, I missed out. But on the bright side is if we do start to either consolidate or we just chop and nothing happens for the rest of the day, your contracts won't be killed. You feel me? So it's easier to just, flip mind you, like I said, we play level to level. That's it. Anything more than that is just greed, right? Because we broke this level, we took it here, we sold. That's it. I'm fully out. The first test, like I said, I was fully out. And I was actually the only reason why I was in live early is because I had a mentorship. So I was actually talking, bro, like through the trade. So it's actually dope. I love, when I'm teaching people when we catch a banger as I'm teaching. That's always just a beautiful because everything's easy to do in hindsight, right? Everybody's always like a good trader after the market closed. Like I don't care what you did. You know what I'm saying? If you can't show it to me live or show me when you're entering, why you're entering, I don't buy none of that stuff. Like all people who I don't buy none of that. None of that. That's all cap to me. Unless I can see you do it live, you can't really do it. If you can't try trade people watching you, you can't trade for real. So it's always better. That's why I said I like sometimes teaching people when the market's open because it's easier for me to like give, live demonstrations of this because I could tell you anybody can be like, oh yeah, so I went long right here because I saw the breakout. Like anybody can say that, right? But unless you do it live and let me see you, what I'm saying, your thought processes, I don't believe it. So that's why this is why I love going live with y'all anyway. So that way I can teach you guys and take the trades with you so we can see why we took the trade. You know what I'm saying? What was our reasoning? Where was our entries? Where was our stop set? Where was our, profit targets? So yeah, this one was beautiful though. Especially this is why I always say, especially now that we're all-time highs, you got to keep them extended hours on. You got to keep them extended hours on because we don't have much to go off of, right? So in pre-market, look, we kind of were holding, right? We were holding, right? We got that first dip. All that did was close the gap, right? That's all that did was a gap close reversal. So this one, like I said, this one was a pretty simpler trade, simple gap close reversal. Um, reason A, we gapped over, right? Reason two, we held during pre-market. Reason three, we closed the gap and started to push back up. So, nice little recipe for some calls there. So look, you see now, even how now, like if this wants to consolidate here, they can do whatever they want in this zone. If they reclaim, let's say this miniature pivot level, we'll say 733. If we reclaim 733, now you got to be careful again because it could just give us a inverse head and shoulder. So if any bounce above this reclaims and we start to push back in this and get that confirmation, right? Remember, you want that confirmation first. You want to make sure that, hey, this isn't just a fluke. This isn't just a wick or a candle. Because remember, all of this might look good on the 5 minute, whatever you're trading on, but you gotta always zoom out, right? And how does that hourly look? How does that 4 hour look, right? How do these candles look on the higher time frames? Anything can happen, obviously, intraday, and that's why the cool part about being day traders, that's why I said we got to make sure we're taking profit, right? You got to make sure you're taking profit because if you don't, zero DTs, like if the VIX gets a random like dump, right, and we get a pop on here, those 60% calls are going to be like at 20%, 30%, right? Or, Lord forbid, we just chop here, it's going to just kill, kill, kill. So in these kind of markets, especially when you're shorting in a bull market, you better be taking that profit. You better be taking that profit because if you're not, look, and now I'll probably get stopped out here for the rest. Yeah, I'll probably get stopped out. So I put a trailing stop on mine. Yeah, see, I'm already stopped out. I ain't even peep. That's fine. Like I said, that's fine. That's cool because if it goes lower, we can always get back in. We can always get back in, right? Hold on, let me see. Boy tagged me. He said the spy goat making it look too easy. Yeah, that's what I do, baby. But I mean, it is that easy, right? It is that easy. Once you Lock in, like once you truly lock in, stop chasing signals, stop chasing other people's ideas. It's okay to have signals. Obviously, we give out signals in chat all the time, but you can't chase those signals. You need to understand why. And that's why I think somebody was in there the other day and was like, "Oh, like it's a call out, calls or puts, like that kind of stuff." Like I understand, wanting to have signals and wanting to have all that stuff, but you still need to be able to look at a chart and be like, "Okay, I agree with what they're saying. Okay, I see why he's taking. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take him. Obviously, call outs are amazing. We all love call outs, but I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me just call it. But that's stupid because we're dealing with real money. This isn't play money. This isn't a joke. This isn't, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a full-time trader, you want to make it really in trading, you have to treat it serious. You got to treat it like a real job because it is a real job. This is you got to clock in, you got to clock out, you got to walk away from screens. You have good days, you have bad days. This is a real job, right? I didn't become a full-time day trader just taking signals and just doing whatever and I don't know what's going on. No, I got burned bad because I thought I could just join a group and just be like, oh, let me just buy whatever they say. It would make money. Like some of them be like, okay, cool, this made money, but I still wouldn't understand how it worked. So whenever a trade didn't go right, I would be too heavy in and be like, oh, are we still holding this trade? Are we still holding these calls? And everybody's been out the trade, and I'm the dummy over here, like, are we still holding what's going on? Because I didn't know what we were looking at. So you need to have at least some sort of knowledge, right? And it's good that we're not getting this bounce here. So it's good that we're not getting an instant bounce because, like I said, we got the hot stove reaction. So we're not getting it here. Not to say that obviously it means we're going to dump, but we have a better chance if this doesn't start to push back up, right? If this doesn't start to push back up and reclaim 733, anything underneath really here could set a lower high, right? Anything. So even if it pops, anything up here can set a lower high, right? So you got to be careful of that. But if we do get up and we reclaim, which is like I said, it'd be way more fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's always way more fun if we just break down retest because like I said, we're in a bull market, man. Who doesn't want stocks to go up? I don't know why everybody's so mad about it, but me personally, I love when stocks go up. Let's look at our other charts. I was perfect too. Perfect, right? Smack in the middle. See, look, all we needed was previous day's high and the gap, previous day's close. So that open and move, it was pretty simple. We got a double bottom off the gap close. And then, like I said, here, because we're in this buying channel, right? I'm not looking for aggressive shorts. I keep telling people that. I'm not going aggressive shorts. Even on my short positions, I'm going like half size I normally would because I know that it's going to be a quick move. I know I'm gonna have to take profits quick and I don't want to get trapped, right? Anybody who tried to buy into this dump and didn't know what they were looking for, they got automatically cooked. They got washed. And then they tried to chase it again. And if they're not smart, they're gonna get washed again. Right. And then look, all we're doing is coming back. Look, I didn't even have this on the other chart. Look how these levels are respected. So if we break below, like I said, if we break below, because look, this broke out yesterday. It held chopped for 3 hours. It chopped for 3 hours. Got everybody out, inverse head and shoulder, bang, squeezed the end of the day. And I think we did like 200 some percent. And I'm sick because we could have made so much more. But like I said, man, we play level to level because we don't want to be that one trade, the one time that you're like, nah, I'm gonna hold it. That's the one time it's gonna go against you. So, obviously, it's fun making 100% every day. It's fun doing 200% every day. It's fun doing these kind of numbers, but you still have to not let it affect how you trade, right? You don't want it to just be like, oh yeah, I'm so used to 100%. I only will take 100% because then you're gonna miss out on beautiful scalps, beautiful 30% trades, beautiful 40% trades, 60. You know what I'm saying? Like all these trades that are just beautiful. Like as long as you're getting some sort of return you're making bread. You feel me? So yeah, as long as we look. Remember, well, if you watch the YouTube video, I don't know if y'all be watching. Some of y'all don't be watching the videos. I'll be knowing, but and I could tell because sometimes y'all ask me questions like, "Oh, what about this?" I'm like, "You definitely didn't watch the video because I go over everything in the video, upside, downside, tricks, traps, gaps, everything. I go over the video." So anyway, in the video, I said, "Hey, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going short or anything like that, but this is upper daily resistance, right? So last time we was here was in February. So all of this whole thing, right? We've been in this channel for since February, right? We bottomed out in March or whatever, got that inverse head and shoulder, easy trade, breakout, retest, breakout, consolidation, breakout, retest, breakout, retest, breakout, right? So we've been in this beautiful just breakout, retest, breakout, retest, breakout, retest. We've just been doing this forever and ever and ever. So actually, let's darken this one a little bit. It's a little too bright. We were using this one at first because this was the other daily resistance, but we broke above it. retest it, and push. This again, just like I said, these are the days where it's like, oh man, you can't beat these kind of days because this is all you want. This is all you want to see in a bull market. You don't buy the breakout, you just wait, right? Even the video today, I caught in a video for 75%. How much did I catch it for? I forgot how much I caught it for, but I missed the video's whole pump today. I missed the whole pump. Yeah, I missed the video's whole pump. What did I do? Just waited for the retest. That's literally that simple. I waited for the first retest because even remember, the market can go and go and go and go and go. We don't know, but it will retest at some point. You just don't want to be that dummy who tries to buy when it's the hugest green candle you've ever seen. Because then that's when, you know what I'm saying, once that emotion starts kicking in, remember, whatever you feel, a lot of people feel that as well. You know, a lot of like, if I'm like, oh, bro, I'm missing this. Like, oh man, I'm not the only one feeling that, right? A lot of humans around the world are like, oh my goodness, I'm missing this trade. We're all synced in that FOMO feeling, right? We've all kind of felt it. So when we all feel like, dang, should we get in? That you go against that feeling. So that's why earlier today I was like, dang, because I called this out yesterday. Um, here, look, hold on, let me show you. Oh, it's the TV. I'm like, no, yeah, yeah. So let me show you right here, right here, right here. Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. See, look, we had this head and shoulders. Boom, broke down. Beautiful play. Obviously, like I said, I don't normally trade much other than SPY, but it was noted either way. So I noticed it. And then what do we all like I said, what happens? The market always is going to retest. It's always going to retest. Either it's going to break out and retest or it's going to break down and retest. So going into this retest, I grabbed calls. Once you started pushing, I said, hey, I'm out at 207. We tapped it, I sold, right? And I said, hey, we also have a nice cup closed. So if we build that liquidity, we'll push back up and take out whatever the swing is. Obviously, it did it, way too fast, so I didn't catch it. I didn't have any alerts set because I'm still my cheap my cheap ass still using the free version of TradingView. Just because I don't feel like I need to do money on TradingView. Plus, I heard if you start doing too much on TradingView, they're gonna make you pay for the professional trader package, and I'm not doing that. So yeah, so like I said, I missed it. I missed the whole move. I missed the whole pump. But I caught this right here, 75% in and out, level to level, sold. I have not looked at it since. And look, I'm glad I haven't looked at it since because it's not doing anything. And I mean, this is good though. This is good because this is technically bullish consolidation, right? So this, right, you can still, oop, hold on. You could still look at NVIDIA like it's also in, bullish consolidation, right? Nice little bull flag. And you got trap set here, nice little trap wick here. So what do we wait for? Either a breakout, retest, hold, boom. We target at the upper 220 level, or what's this? We got 215, and then whatever this gap up here. There's a gap up there. I don't know exactly off the top of my head what it is. But yeah, you either target that or we don't, and it fails. Breakdown, retest. You can short it or you just leave it alone, right? You don't have to be on either side. Just because I sell my calls doesn't mean, oh, I'm gonna instantly go to puts, right? Or vice versa. It doesn't mean just because I sold my puts, I'm gonna instantly go to calls. But sometimes if it's at a good level, I will flip. But all right, here we go. Here we go. So we're all right. So now we're holding the top of this range, right? Remember, holding top of the zone. And look, last time we broke down, retest, and we rolled right to the bottom. So if we can get that breakdown, retest, remember, you need confirmation to close below the wick. If it doesn't, it's still no trade, right? Not to say that, oh, you can't, buy time and go. If it's that's your plan. Like I said, you do you. But it's not smart. You know what I'm saying? It's not your best idea, right? It's not gonna be the best trade out there. The best trade out there is to wait for possible bullish consolidation because like I said, we're in a bull market and this as of now, right? Remember, we only know as much as we can, as far as we can go left. That's all we know. But because we're at all-time highs, you got to be a lot more patient, right? And that's why I said yesterday, hey, just relax. Like even though yesterday was better for me because I was on the road, I was traveling, so it was actually better for me to practice what I was preaching as far as being like patient because like I said, I was on the road driving through Kansas, Kentucky, wherever we was at, and I barely had a signal, so I really had to be patient. But as long as you're not breaking down continuation or you're not breaking out continuation, anything that goes sideways is good. You want that because the market is either consolidating or it's expanding, right? So consolidation leads to expansion. So the longer you consolidate, you know that the market's not going to do this forever, right? The market's not going to go sideways forever. So what do? You just set alerts, right? So for us, we have an alert set at the low of this zone, and then we can set another alert right here. That's it, right? And if neither one of those breaks, then there is no trade because it can just do like this. Nothing's gonna happen, right? You're not missing anything. You're not, oh man, I missed this trade, or oh, calls or puts, calls or puts. And this is why in the chat, whenever people are like, oh, calls or puts, I just tell them like, bro, nothing, nothing. Just don't do nothing. Like, just sit on your hands, right? We're literally being paid to be patient, right? And a lot of people, they will burn all their buying power trying to catch every 5 minute, every 30 minute. Like, bro, you have to wait. Wait for the best setup. We literally get paid to wait for the best setup. Best setup today was this breakdown retest, right? Even if you missed the first one, cool, I get it. The second one, though, that's all on you. So now, if we're gonna get this next leg down, we will finally crack below. And because we said, like I said, because we still were able to roll into, 1 to 2 DT puts, you're not scared, right? I'm not freaking out. My heart's not pounding like, oh man, this pops, I'm cooked. No, we just caught a banger. And now, even if, let's say, the market does some shady stuff and we close below whatever, and then we went back up, that's cool. That's fine, right? Because I'm no longer heavy in zero DT positions. I bought time. And even if this is your first trade, even if you're a beginner, I still suggest kind of staying away from zero DTs because it gives you too much stress that you don't need as a beginner trader. And that's just not, it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your trading health. It's not good for your pockets. Like that was always my biggest problem, was just feeling like I needed to be in something. All right, come on. So this is what I want right here. All right, no bias. Like I said, don't no bias. I'm just saying based on the charts, we have a bunch of liquidity in these lower levels. Not saying we dump instantly to 730 today, but I really hope we do. I'm not gonna lie, I really hope we do. But of course, like I said, we still gotta get through this 739 or 731, my fault. Get through that first. Oh, my fault. I misspoke. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I hope we get to 728 today if we break the 730. I misspoke, my fault. But if we break this, like I said, if we do continue lower, we get this next leg down. Let's say they give us a perfect measure move. They give us a perfect measure move. Spot on, right? Right back to where all this liquidity is. Now, will they give it to us? Who knows? But that's what patience is for. Just chilling. Consolidating in the zone doesn't mean it's bullish, doesn't mean it's bearish, doesn't mean anything. No confirmation yet. We just know if we look left, we had a crazy. If this is a real wick, if this is real, we had a crazy $7 bounce from here. And then the second bounce was this hot stove reaction. We had a $2 bounce. So if there's no more bounce left, where y'all think it's gonna go? All right, let me look at these contracts real quick. We'll try to see if we can get us a nice little trade on live. Let's see what we want. See what we want. So, because, like I said, because we are still in this zone, you do not. I wouldn't go zeros. I have, like I said, I still have a few of the runners from that second trade. But my full positions on my zeros and all that stuff, I got stopped out already. My rest of those, the big runners, I already got stopped out on those. I still got a few of the smaller. I think like 7. What I got. I still got a few of the little 730 puts, but nothing crazy. So if if this is gonna continue down, where we bounce out after that? Really right about here, 739. Okay, 729. So I would look at, let's look at the options chain. All right. What's today's date? Oh yeah. Hold on. Can I pull up my Webull chart from here? Hold on. Let me pull up this Webull chart. I think I'll be able to see it better on here. Oof, my laptop getting hot. Yeah. Look at this. All the bottom of the range is all the way down here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look. I know it seems like a lot, but it's just a bunch of channels. If we break this low, look at where the bottom is. We possibly could gap down to 725. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab, what's today? Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm gonna grab Monday 720. I'll grab one of those. And obviously, light position. Remember, we always want to scale in. You don't want to, we're not going to go too crazy with the position size because we still need confirmation, right? But if we break below this, we have 10 minutes left in this candle. If this 10-minute candle closes below, right, basically the same levels, then we will look to add into the a 1 DTE position. But you can start a 1 DTE position, right? You can have a starter position. You just don't want to go, you don't want to go, you don't go crazy on the position yet. But yeah, you can't have a starter because this 30-minute does look pretty good so far. We still got 10 minutes, so we're not jumping the gun, but no more zeros. No more zeros, right? No more zeros. So yeah, we'll let this close, give it 10 minutes. My laptop getting hot. Bro, I tried, and this is why I don't trade. This is why don't be trading random stuff, bro. I try to take a random trade. Y'all know about the little stuff that's happening on the boat or whatever? They talking about it's gonna be the next COVID. Bruh, I try to take a little lottery play, like, okay, let me take a little, let me see just in case CDC, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, oh, man, they gapped up Moderna and then just sold all the way back off. This is why I just stick to what I know, bruh. This is why I just stick to what I know. This was terrible. I'm like, what in the world? Mind you, all over they've been like, oh my goodness, have y'all seen about this? This disease is killing everybody. Like, yeah, cap. Y'all cap. Yeah, see? And this, I went over this in the video. This up here is upper resistance. I'm not saying full reversal. I'm not saying $20 drop. I'm just saying chill on the calls, right? Chill on the calls. And this is why I said we've just been playing very slightly, level to level, level to level. 2 hours left in this. Oh yeah. If they can give us a gap, come down to this gap. Yeah, see, we're almost here. Almost there. We're almost there. Just be patient. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Dump it. Dump it. So really what I want is this liquidity zone. Come back down here. I think I drew that in the actual video too. Yeah. All right. I think I might go ahead and cut a few more of these runners off. They're scaring me. These runners are scaring me. They're scaring me, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to leave at least one runner just so I can see if it goes in the money. And at least they give us like a Trump candle or something like that. But yeah, we're almost there. See, we still kind of just been we're going, but it's not there yet, right? You could still have an inverse head and shoulder set here, right? You could sweep this low and come up here. So that's why I said I'm starter position on the two DTs, but I'm not nowhere near full size position yet. Nowhere near full size position yet. All right, 70%. I'm taking more off. All right, yeah. Now I'm down to all right, cool. Yeah, we'll let that one do its thing, and it has a stop loss set, so if it goes, it triggers. But ooh, hold on. Let me see something real quick. Ooh, hold on. We might need to get some zeros. Hold on a second. We'll set the alert actually right here. That'll be true if we can close below that. That'll be the true test. Yeah, and remember, like I always say when I'm trading, I don't have a bias, bro. You calls, puts, we gonna trade it all. Whatever the market's telling us. If this market's like, hey, we don't want to go down. Actually, we want to just bottom right here. Cool. We only took a starter. We'll cut them quick. No problem. No problem. Yeah. Let me see this real quick. Oh snap! Yeah, we're still in that same zone. Yeah, I'm gonna cut those. We actually might need to try some calls. Ooh, no way. That's crazy, bro. As soon as I'm like, hold on, I think I see something. Lame. They lame for that, bro. Soon as I'm like, all right, let's lame. All right, yeah, hold on. Let me see how much these are. Let me see how much we got in this candle first before I do that. 6 minutes? Nah. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it. Yeah, so I'm gonna hold those two DTEs because remember, like I said, I'll stop if we reclaim this. That's the only way I'll stop out because remember, I have the rest of today, tomorrow, and Monday. So because I rolled out, you're not really there's nothing, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna do anything. But this is literally why I just said do not try to get zeros. Because if they want to just cook here, they want to because think about it, all falling wedges don't have to play out. It looks good, but it don't always have to play out. You could get a pop, and like I said, remember early in the video, anything below here, anything. I don't care if we get a green candle of death, of my fault, of just grand rising green candle. Anything under here is a lower high. Anything. So you don't chase lower highs. You don't chase, you know what I'm saying? You don't chase those moves. You just wait for the reaction. So even though obviously it looks like a nice little falling wedge into support. It does, right? It does look really good. But I'm not gonna chase that because we have High set, we set a lower 30-minute high, we set a lower 30-minute high. So anything underneath this can possibly set. The only way I will change my mind is if we A, break it, retest, and get back above, or if we do pop and then we set a low, I mean, my fault, a higher low above this zone. Then I can be like, all right, I can get behind some 0 DTE calls, right? Other than that, I still always say buy time. That's a nice candle though. Not gonna lie. Let me see. How much are zeros calls? And this is the fun part about trading. You can literally trade both sides. You can be in calls, be in puts. You can be in month out puts and still do 0 DT calls. Like as long as you're, you know what I'm saying, you're making money, it don't matter. Because obviously the longer you're out, obviously you have way more time. So you can still, and this is why sometimes when we're in the trades, I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna take zeros and ones at the same time. Zeros, those would be quick, 30%, and then I'll just cut them, and then I can still hold my further out. So even here, right? Let's say you bought like further out puts up here. You still could have played zeros here and caught a nice move, because all that does is just give you cushion. Oh wow. What happened? Oh, I think my phone disconnected for a minute. Ooh wee. What is this? Is a news scandal? Trump talking about something? Oh, what in the world? Yeah, yeah. Come on, dump it. Dump it. Is this a news scandal, bro? Is Trump talking? Hold on. Yeah, what was that? What was that wick? Hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting caught in no craziness. Mm, I'm not seeing anything. Y'all see anything? Is there a? I just realized I was behind the stream by 5 minutes. Oh, that's cooked. Oh, we got my mod in here. My gorgeous mod. 2 to 5 SPX sold. I like that. Oh, there we go. Look, see? And that's why I said you don't freak out when you're in further out contracts. The further outs are already up 20%. 25%. Oh, let's go. I should have held that one 0 DT that got stopped. Like I said, it's okay. We miss them, you catch them, you miss them. But this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Yeah, come on down. Come on down. Where's that zone I had? Yeah. Yeah. You see that? This is what I'm talking about. So now, yeah, trim some more. Obviously, take some profit off, 25%. I'm gonna sell. Um, yeah, take that profit off, relax, breathe. Yeah, I like this. I like that. All right. Order filled. That's beautiful, man. All right, yeah, beautiful. So yeah, remember, trim into the strength. You don't buy into the strength. You trim into the strength. You sell into the strength. Gorgeous. I don't know what that was. I don't know who said what, who did what. All we do, move your alerts lower, right? And you move your stops with it. So now your stop will be a reclamation and close, like I said, back above here. So you give yourself some space, trim. If you're in zeros though, uh, oh my goodness, man. The zeros, I already know those are doing disgusting numbers. But we already caught 200%, man. We ain't tripping. Oh, we going what if your old buddy's always in a zero? I'll be watching. Oh yeah, my mod said she'd be watching. If it happens, it happens. No. You're my fault, but I didn't even see that. You're already zero. But look, yeah, see, look, you trim into the strength. Any craziness, you trim into it. Because look, this is what I said. Look, hold on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Right there. Right there. Right? Literally right here. It's literally what I just called. We got it. I was like, I don't know if they give it to us today, but we got it. Whatever that was, I got it. I sold, right? Trimmed the position. And because like I said, we still have time, so I did hold, a couple, but you know, nothing crazy. See, look, now, like I said, if this is a wick and it's just a sweep, they sweep this, then you have let's see. Then you have the possibility of this right here. Look. Uh, this is an if. Remember, if we still got 30 seconds left. If it oh look where it closed too. It didn't even that wick was gorgeous though. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be feeling a little jealous whenever I get out my zeros. I'll be hoping like, man, I hope it don't go too much lower and I don't feel as bad about not holding the zeros. But yeah, not just doing this, I don't feel as bad. I don't feel as bad. But yeah, so if it does, remember, if it does hold here, you still can have some sort of just a bigger, inverse head and shoulder. So you still remember you got to be prepared for either side. Even though yes, our puts are printing, finally we're getting some put money, a couple 100%. Gorgeous. I love it. But we're in a bull market, right? We're still in a bull market. So you want to trim at every single one of your levels, right? When this level triggered, trim, right? When we swept that low, trim. We come down here to our next level at 728, trim again, right? Or if you only got one put or you only got one, hey, it's cool. Sell it, right? You can always, get back in, or if you're out of buying power, it's cool. Like I said, there's always gonna be more trades tomorrow. But 150%, it worked at level near broke. Yes. Proud of you, man. Love it. Yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna hold those 720s for Monday because like I said, I went over in the video. We have all this liquidity in here. We have all this liquidity in here. We have our 5-day SMA right here. Like I said, the 5 will move up, the 20 will move up, right? The 20 will probably move up. By the time we do catch it, it'll probably be in between here and here, the 20-day. Because we test the 20-day, I'm pretty sure almost once every single month, right? Like every single month we'll probably test the 20-day at least one time. So market, I mean, it's only May 7th. But let's see. Breaking. Saudi Arabia and Kuwait lift restrictions on US military access. But what? Nah, that ain't that. Yeah, I'm still not seeing any news. I don't know what that was. Y'all see any news about this? Because if there's bad news, I'm definitely gonna hold more. That's for sure. If it's bad news, I'm definitely gonna hold that. But yeah, I don't know if this is just like a trigger. Because sometimes we just get triggers, random triggers. Let's check VIX. If VIX is pumping, I'm gonna hold a few more. Okay. 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 So likewise, for the VIX as well, we have a 5-day here, and we got our 20-day here, and then the 200 right there as well. So because we're below it, it's still kind of iffy. But if we can somehow reclaim that 200 on VIX, let's say the VIX kind of starts to flatten out, the 20 starting to come down a little bit. Uh, 5 is kind of weird. I don't know what it's kind of. Oh, it's kind of going down a little bit too. But we have all these SMA above. So if the VIX does pop, I don't think it'll be long lived. And that's why I'm saying like I do think we get a pullback eventually, but I don't think it's. I'm not calling for a reversal, right? I'm not calling for the end of the world, right? No, I'm just saying a pullback. You got to be chill on the calls, right? So now we got 27 minutes left in this candle. If this holds, right? If yesterday's pre-market high hold, then all this is basically what we always go over every time. A bear trap. And how do we know if it's a bear trap? Bear traps, we went over this multiple times. We're in a bull market, and then what happens? You come down and you sweep a previous swing low, right? So we have a swing low here, swing low here, so we have a previous swing low. If this is a bull trap, it will sweep that low, retest. It will attempt to go lower probably like 1 or 2 times, and then it'll reclaim. If that reclaims and starts to push back up, that's when you have to be like, all right, cool. I'm no more in the where you go. All right, man. We got snacks? Y'all ate all them cookies from Subway that I bought? You greedy, man. Y'all niggas greedy, bro. That's messed up. Y'all didn't even ask me if I wanted one? Y'all wrong. Y'all dead wrong. But there's one? Which one is it? Is it chocolate chip? I got those from my own. I'm not sure. Yes. Of course, the one that y'all don't like, y'all. That's messed up. That's y'all foul, bro. Appreciate it. All right. I'll tell my mom be down probably like I'm not gonna do it too long. I probably got a few minutes left. My laptop getting hot. But yeah, I'm gonna be down there. Uh, So, my fault. Why will oil spike and SPY dump? Are they inversely correlated? Yes, they are inversely correlated. So oil spikes, um, SPY usually does go down. Not to say obviously 100%, but it's kind of like VIX. Like, VIX spikes, volatility goes up, we probably will get. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the bull trap. So the bull trap, you will have a, continuous grind up, and then you will come sweep a low. Because remember, the only way to identify if we are truly in um a reversal is if it does this, right? Let's say we do come, right, and we'll have the sweep low, whatever. Most times, if it's a bear trap, it'll try to sweep the low, and then it'll reclaim and squeeze. It's done it. We've caught this play multiple times. But if it's not and it's a true reversal, we will attempt to sweep back up, but then it'll go lower and create a lower low. And at that point, now you can be like, all right, cool, a reversal. But calling a reversal with this kind of market is just stupid. So I'll never call it reversal. But like I said, yeah. So we got the move. It was a wick. Unfortunately, it didn't give us like a crazy, you know what I'm saying, something we can actually hold and do. But hey, a quick wick is better than nothing, right? So yeah, we only had to hold the puts for 2 minutes, and honestly, the best, that's the best when you don't have to hold the trade long, because we spend probably 90% of the time waiting for a setup, 10% of the time actually executing the trade. So thankfully, they gave us that wick, gave us a beautiful 25% on those 2-day outputs. So instantly, really, in my opinion, I say anything over that 15 to 20% range, you should start trimming, right? Just because it's you gotta realize banks offer people 4%, 5% a year. You feel what I'm saying? A year. That's what they're offering a year. So if you can make 20% in seconds or minutes, you'd be, a greedy person if just was like, nah, I'm gonna just hold forever. Nah, you gotta start trimming because like I said, especially if you're going short in a bull market, you don't know what kind of wicks we can really get. Like this one over here. Even though, yes, I know, even though we went lower, of course. But if you're in shorter dated contracts, you still got cooked, right? No, unless you held through all of this, like you still got absolutely wrecked if you tried to buy shorts right here, right? So just for, practicing good habits, practicing just good behavior. So like I said, if this is a bear trap and we do look, because remember, look. Breakout, retest, continuation, breakout, retest, continuation. Bang, 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 bang. And we got this sweep below. So in between here and here is where we'll know if it's a bear trap or not. Remember, we already trimmed. You're still in Mondays. No, we already trimmed. So yeah, I still got a few left, but like I said, those are now stop set at break even. So or not break even, my fault. I have a stop set. I think I have a trailing stop on those. Yeah. So those are still green, but yeah, if we do, like I said, reclaim this, then you cut, and then that was the play, right? From here to here, that's as much as the Bears are going to give us, right? So then now, if that is the case, then this is just a bear trap, right? This is just a bear trap. So now in this case, if like I said, and this is all speaking to people who are already, you've caught a trade, you've got profit to play with, you're not deeply red. If you're deeply red, just walk away, right? We'll try again tomorrow. If you've missed A, B, C, you've missed all these trades, you're on the wrong side every single time, you're deep red, just walk away. Like, just wait till the end of the day. Maybe you try to get something later or just, reset your mind. But if you have, profit to kind of play with, you have a nice little cushion. In this case, if we did get a nice close, you could start a scale. Remember, when I say scale into a position, whatever your account looks like, I don't know what you're looking working with, whatever, but according to your account size and according to your profit and all that stuff. So let's say you have $1,000 and I made $100 today. I could probably take $25, $30, and maybe, try to play with that. But I would buy time, right? I wouldn't just be like, oh, I just made $100 and put it back in zeros. I'd be like, okay, if this is a bull trap, we're coming back to 736 regardless. Whether it be today, tomorrow, the next day, we're going there regardless. So I would just buy further out calls if this 30-minute does close, reclaim, and start to push back up. Because like I said, it might not be today, right? They might trap, it might just be, but you can always start scaling in a position and start scaling back into calls. So even though, like I said, we got 25%, if this is going to be a one candle dump, so be it. I'm not going to fight it, right? Especially on the bull market, right? So if this, like I said, remember 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes or higher. So if this 30 minutes does reclaim all of this, right? And we do push back up and we close above, this is just gonna be, then we'll play for the bear trap. But if not, then this is just a breakdown. This is the retest, right? So you can't freak out just because you got a green candle. Remember, you have to turn everything your brain is telling you, you have to flip it, right? You got to flip it. If my brain's like, oh man, oh, I'm gonna no, that means you're either size too heavy, you're too zoomed in, or you're revenge trading, right? You shouldn't really feel any kind of crazy emotions about flipping sides and all that stuff. Like, nah, mind you, we caught the puts up here, right? We sold the zeros right here. We got in more zeros right here. We sold the zeros again here. So now I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not panicking. Yes, that wick was beautiful, gave us 25%. Of course, I'm gonna take profit. Of course. Of course. Well, Just because obviously I would love for it to come down here and retest this 5. I would love for it to come down here and test the 20 in the next couple of days, but it doesn't mean it have to, and it doesn't mean I'm gonna keep sizing heavy every single trade. I took a full position on the calls, right? Those banked 70%. Took a, mind you, we got profit secured. We're chilling. Now I'll take a decent size on the puts. Those went 200%. 200%. You're chilling, right? It's okay. You buy time, you're allowed to relax, right? The more time you buy, the further you can zoom out. But that's why I said zero DTEs are scary because you don't have much time. You have until 3 o'clock, right? So if it ain't moving or you get stuck in a trade, whether you're right or not, if the market's not moving good, you'll still go red on it, right? So, um, because we have rest of today, all of tomorrow, and all of Monday. Of course, of course, I'm gonna hold a couple. We already got 21%. We secured some profit. So it's like, okay, even if this set goes flat back to break even, we still already secured some profit. So I'm not like freaking out. And besides, you still need a buffer. Like I'm still, I bought time. I have all the way, yeah, I have all the way to the end of over here. This is a 4-hour chart, right? Monday, Monday. Let me see, where's Monday? Bang, I have all the way to right here, right? Anything can happen in between here and here. Like I said, if it does close back up in the hour and we do get it, so what, right? We just go with the flow. Let's check on, hold on. This is another thing to check on too. The dollar. Mm. The dollar is also kind of like oh wow. When did I draw this out? I don't even remember this, but hey, it's accurate. Jeez Louise. Hold on. Well, let me find out. Yeah, so if the dollar does spike, that means that people are moving their money from stocks into cash, right? They're going to cash positions. So if the dollar is dumping, they're not sitting cash, they're buying stocks, equities, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So if this dollar, kind of like VIX, like how you can use both of them at the same time, if the dollar starts to pump, that means that people are like, hey, I'm I'm not buying no more stock. I'm kind of chilling right now, right? So they want us to leave their money cash because they're scared of the stock market. But when the market's, I mean, when the dollar is dumping, everybody's buying. They don't want to have their money sitting cash. They want to put their money somewhere. So you can use the dollar DXY. So you can use DXY as well as the VIX, right? VIX, like I said, VIX is more so volatility indicator, and the dollar is the dollar, right? So you can use both of them. They go hand in hand, especially when trading the S&P. But all right, let's see where we are. All right, we got 17 minutes left in this candle. Look at the 15. 15 got 2 minutes left. This is why I have so many charts too, because I have different charts for different things, right? Different charts for different things. Because you gotta have, different outlooks. I gotta have a, bigger outlook. I have a chart with huge daily levels. I have a chart with that I use for my intraday. Like this one, I just use this one for intraday. I just make the levels as I go. It's like my daily trading level, but then I still, refer back to see, okay, how's the daily my 4 hour zones looking? How are we looking here? Right. And look, yesterday, I don't know if y'all were in the chat yesterday, but I did say, hey, y'all know y'all know hey, I love the markets going up, but I did say, hey, I think the market's gonna start topping pretty soon because we are in, like I said, we're in this daily 4 hour resistance, and not to mention, look at this, zoom out. Remember, when in doubt, zoom out. Trend line from 2024's high to October 2025 high gives us this exact line right here, right? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying, oh, we top equals reversal. I'm saying topping means, hey, chill on the calls, right? Chill on going heavy on the calls. Buy more time with your calls because you can get candles like today, right? And this is why I said today, hey,